Hi everyone, so today we're looking at another card that is based on two 6-inch cards. So probably you've got them in your craft stash, and we're actually going to use a ruler, a knife or scissors, and not much else. So this one, if we open it out, it's got a 3-fold card, and it stands beautifully displaying all the different levels. So let's have a look at what we need. I've got two cards that would be 6 inches by 6 inches. So I've just folded them. I haven't even got my scoreboard out today. Here we go. So I have two 6-inch cards, and I want to flip this round so I've got one facing the opposite way. Okay, so I have prepared a piece here with all the measurements on, and actually if you take a screenshot, you can pause the video, you can then take all the measurements down. Okay, so the back piece has got all the extra bits on it. Then this bit has the middle section, and this bit is the last one, but we will see that we can do it without any measuring if necessary. Okay, so I'm going to take my ruler, and I want to measure 5 centimeters or 2 inches from the top. So this is the one that opens what I call properly. Okay, so it's going to open with the side piece. Okay, so now I can take my scissors or a knife and chop through up to the fold. Now the bit that I like to do, we're going to cut up the fold, but I do like to take my ruler and a knife and just take off that fold. It does make it a lot easier. So I have now taken this piece off the top, put that to one side, and this bit opens like that. Right, we're now going to take the next one, which opens on this side, and the first thing we're going to do is to take 5 centimeters off the entire top. But we're not going to throw it away, because I will show you a quick trick with it later. So I've gone across, and now I'm just going to trim off that and put it to one side. Alright, now I have my shorter piece which matches this. So I'm going to measure 5 centimeters down, 2 inches. And draw a line across there. I'm going to take my scissors and trim across this one. And the same as before, you can trim up with your scissors, but I find it's a lot neater if I take my knife and just come down to the line. Now that piece drops off. Right, now we're going to open both pieces, and I'm going to put double-sided tape on this inside piece. Okay. Remove the tape. Now, while the tape is exposed, I can move it around to get it exactly where I want it. And I want to line up this bottom edge and the fold. Once I'm ready, I can just fold that over and it's perfectly fitted. There's no overhang or anything. Okay, so there is our basic card. Now, if we go back to these, you can see that I have used matte and layer on these with a bit all the way round. Not everybody wants to do a lot of matte and layering. Okay, so we're going to do it slightly different, and I have some pieces of lilac card. I have some odd bits from a topper pad I had. So I've got a nice topper, I've got some corners, I've got some greetings, and I've got a little border here. Okay. So let's have a look what we can do. If I don't want to do a lot of measuring, I can take my tape and put 2 or 3 pieces across. Okay, dead simple. Expose these. Now, keeping away from the fold, I'm going to line my decorative paper up with the base and let it go down. Right, turn it over, and then I can take my knife or my scissors, and using the card as a template, I can cut off all the extra bits that overhang. I'm slightly out with that one. Okay, so my back piece is perfectly covered. Then I'm going to fold this one down because I want to do this one. Let's see what is on the back of there. I think that's going to be too fussy, so I'll carry on with this one, and we're going to do exactly the same. So we're going to cover this bit. Not everybody likes matting and layering and lots of cutting. Okay, so this is a nice one. These are slightly different lilacs, but they are just exactly what I want for my bit. Now I'm going to purposefully let this overhang the top and the bottom. So there we go. Now I can take this here and I can cut down the side of the card. I can cut along the base. See if there's a little bit there not cut. And if I go from this side, I can just come across with my knife, and now I've got this bit perfectly covered. Okay, we're going to fold that over. I'm going back to the lighter lilac, and I'm going to just snip that off there, and I'm going to cover this bit. So once again, I'm going to put a couple of strips of double-sided, pull that off. And I'm going to take this, line it up with the edge and the bottom, and then I can turn it over, and using the card as my guide, use that to cut off any excess. Now if we take a look at that, we have just a little bit overhanging there, I didn't cut. There we go, that's better. So we now have 3 different layers, room to write inside, or you could put your greetings panel on this side. Okay, we're going to look at the decoration now. So first of all, I'm going to take my topper. Now the topper I'm putting in the centre here. So there we go. And I'm going to just stick at the bottom, because it will stick up over the card. I'm going to attach the lower half onto there. So there's our card coming together. I'm going to take out my big greeting. You can go onto sticky fixers or directly onto the card. Now I've taken that off, but on here I've also got a border. So I'm just going to release that from there. Again, I haven't measured. And I think I'm going to go across the middle there and trim off any excess. This is a beautiful way of using bits that you've got left over. So I couldn't have picked a better friend than you. Stick that on, and now we have a lovely border there. Now I also have on the sheet some corners. Got another sample to show you where I've dealt with it slightly differently. Now corners I do prefer to put on with wet glue. They're small fiddly bits. I'm going to put my 2 top ones in place. There. Now I'm going to open it out, and I'm going to have the other 2 inside. They won't be seen until somebody opens the card. So that makes a nice area for you to write in. And the nice thing as well is that the writing is sort of secret if you keep it within this area here. And what you can do is to just put a little pencil mark on there so that you know you've got to keep within those bounds when you write or put a greeting inside. Okay, so there we have another lovely card which will stand up beautifully and have a 3D effect. Okay. So if you want to do the matten layering and take a bit more time over everything, then follow the instructions on here. Okay. But let's have a look at another one. This one I have done the same as this, so there is no matten layering on the backgrounds, but I've used 3 different pieces. So I've used the border across the very bottom, thanks a bunch, and then we've got a shaped topper inside. So I've fixed that on, but what I've done is I've taken my ruler and I've mimicked this slant here. So I've just shaped the top of my card, and that just changes the view of it when it's on the standing up wherever you're displaying it. Okay, so simple 2 6-inch cards that will create a lovely card design by just a few cutting lines, but they are all one measurement, 5 centimeters or 2 inches. Now I did say at the end not to throw away your extra bit, which I put to one side. There we go. Because if I keep this, I can do a very quick version. Okay. So we come through, we mark off the 5 centimeters or 2 inches on the back card, and we cut that one. Stuck up with the scissors. So if I do this very quickly, I can cut off. If you're going to use scissors, cut off the actual bit that's folded, so that's a nice straight edge. Now take a look at this piece. Instead of trimming this down, I can use this scrap to be my last layer. So I would prefer to do it with the 2 complete bits because it stiffens this bit. But if you want to use up this, a couple of strips of double-sided tape, exactly the same as before, remove the adhesive, line it up with the crease, and when you're happy with it, fold this over. So there is a 3-fold card, but it is only half up here. So with that, so we haven't wasted this bit that we took off. Okay, but this is slightly more flimsy because it's not reinforced. Let's bring in this one. The center one on these, we have a double layer of card, so that is a much more special card and a lot stronger. The more you add to it, the more weightier it becomes, but the more substantial the card. So if you fancy using up the odd scrap you've cut off, there we go. Okay. So do have a go and enjoy, and God bless you all.